Well, joining us now to discuss the case further is Southern California criminal defense lawyer Lauren Johnson-Norris. Thank you so much for joining us, Lauren.
Thank you.
First, in your opinion, how surprising was this verdict? Based on how the trial went, we had weeks and weeks of testimony, hearing firsthand accounts from many with that big focus on his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura.
Well, I think there was no question, and the defense conceded there were acts like domestic violence, there were all kinds of acts of prostitution that occurred, but the defense really argued that there was not a RICO conspiracy here. And it's clear that the jurors agreed. While they found him guilty of transportation for prostitution as it related to 2 counts, 2 individuals, they found him not guilty as to the other more serious counts. And so ultimately, I'm not sure that I was surprised. I guess the prosecution may have been surprised. They brought this case under a theory that this was all part of a big conspiracy, but it just didn't pan out the way they hoped.
So staying on that, do you think the prosecution overreached with the racketeering and trafficking charges?
I think so, and I think it's hard for jurors, and it was hard for the public to understand why someone as successful as Combs, who had everything at his hands, would need to engage in a conspiracy in order to basically have these sexual encounters when he was able just to pay for them. And ultimately, there were no other conspirators that were argued in the case that participated in this, so it didn't really make sense who was part of the grand conspiracy to commit these crimes.
So looking at the charges, how much prison time do you expect the judge to give Combs?
Well, the defense is asking for about 2 years, and the prosecution is asking for somewhere between 4 and 5 years. I think that now that we know that he was not released on bail, he is going to be looking at more time. He's already done now several months. I think somewhere in between. So maybe somewhere between 3 to 4 years. I think the court will probably split the difference.
All right. Thank you so much for providing that insight, Lauren.
My pleasure.